There are two kinds of rest days when you have a consistent exercise practice. The first is intentional. You planned it. You know why you're taking it. Deload, a scheduled recovery. The second is the rest day that arrives unannounced, justified by fatigue, a busy schedule, or the vague sense that you deserve a break. The second kind has a similar intention, but a different execution, and it produces a different result. The first rest day preserves the streak. The second rest day is the one that turns into a slide that gets out of hand. The difference is whether you maintain the connection to the practice. Rest from intensity is necessary. Rest from consistency is the beginning of the slide. Hey there, it's me, Core, and you're listening to Exercise and Consistency, from fitness to flourishing. The floor on a rest day. A rest day changes the intensity. It does not change the floor. Crawl from the scope of effort scale exists precisely for this purpose. On a day when conditions are at their worst, when energy is low, when other goals take precedence, crawl is the minimum that preserves continuity. 2 minutes of movement, a walk, light stretching, a movement practice that signals to the system the streak is not negotiable. The mistake is treating the rest day as a day outside the system. The body does not take a day off from being a body. The heart does not pause because you are tired. The lungs do not skip a cycle because you deserve a break. The systems that sustain you run continuously. The system that sustains your practice should do the same, scaled down to match the day's capacity. Protect the streak first. The rest day is for protecting the schedule, and performance comes second. If you drop the intensity but keep the streak, the system survives. If you drop the streak because you needed rest, you have confused rest from intensity with rest from consistency. Those are not the same thing. What the body is doing on a rest day. A rest day is not an empty day. The body is doing more recovery work on a rest day than it does on a training day. Muscle repair, glycogen replenishment, connective tissue and joint adaptation, hormone rebalancing, the nervous system recalibrating. You are not taking a break from the work. The work has shifted to a different phase. The rest day is where the adaptation happens. The stimulus has done its job. The recovery is the active process. If you understand this, you stop seeing rest days as permission to abandon the practice. You see them as an essential phase of the cycle. It is not an exit from the cycle. The no special pleading test. Would this rest day pass the no special pleading test? If someone else described their rest day to you the way you are living it, would you see it as legitimate recovery, or would you see the slide beginning? A rest day that includes the floor is legitimate. Crawl preserves the streak. The behavior continues at a lower intensity. The system is intact. A rest day that includes nothing, no movement, no connection to the practice, is not a rest day. It is a zero. And the risk is not the single zero. The risk is that the zero normalizes zero. The rest day becomes the rest week, becomes the rest month. The slide is not dramatic. It's just the accumulation of normalized zeros. The smallest acceptable rest day. A rest day that preserves the streak is simple. A walk, a set of push-ups or air squats, 2 minutes of the world's greatest stretch, a movement snack, something that tells the system the practice is still active. The floor is intact. The identity is stable. Incorporating rest is necessary. You need a break from intensity. You sometimes need to loosen your schedule. The only thing that is not necessary as a deliberate choice is the zero. The streak does not need to be broken for you to recover. Crawl exists for exactly this reason. You can be physically stopped from following through, but short of that, you can stay consistent whatever the circumstances. Crawl exists for your worst day. That's how you stay consistent. Rest from intensity. A rest day is not an exception. It's a continuation. It's the moment you prove that your practice isn't built on mood, motivation, or circumstance. It's built on identity. The floor is the non-negotiable. Crawl is the behavior that keeps the identity intact. When you hit them, even at your lowest, you turn the day with the least capacity into the day that protects your entire system. You convert vulnerability into structural integrity. This is the point you must not miss. Consistency is not about how hard you can go. It's about how hard you make it to stop. Rest from intensity. Never rest from identity. The streak is the spine. Protect it. And the practice becomes self-sustaining. When you're ready to turn consistency from an idea into a solid practice, start your day one inside the ACT Score Challenge. That's it for today. Catch you next time.